I like the little strategic things about when if you're going to use the Force, use it in little ways. We don't need to see this galactic like Star Killer thing where
dude, the fucking Mandalorian's not even about the Force, really.
It's not, but it has it all wrapped around it.
Dude, that show, the writers are the fucking shit.
Well, one of the writers is the guy that wrote the Rebels. I know you didn't watch that cartoon.
I did. I watched some of it.
Yeah, he's
it's
one of
pretty good.
He's a creative.
I actually watched it after you said to watch it. With the fucking Darth Maul shit.
Yeah, it could create. That's awesome. That scene with.
Did I tell you though that? Remember, I told you when we went and saw Han Solo, and at the end they showed Darth Maul with the arachnid body.
Yeah.
And then the other...
He didn't have the body.
No, he didn't have the arachnid body.
He had the metal legs, though.
He had the metal legs in the end of that one. The arachnid body was in Clone Wars.
Because I saw... Okay, then I must have been confused, because when I saw a picture of... I watched it again not too long ago, and he just had regular legs.
Well, I just showed him a clip of the Clone Wars where Sidious realizes Darth Maul's alive, and Darth Maul faces Darth Sidious one-on-one in the series of Clone Wars, because we were just...
Who wins that?
Sidious kills him. And Sidious, his brother, Darth Maul's brother, is his new recruit, Darth Maul's. Sidious fucking wipes the floor with him. But he doesn't kill him. He says, I'll show you the clip afterwards. I was just using it as a point to John, saying they're doing a better job in their TV shows. They're kind of like DC-ing this shit up, Disney. But see, their TV shows are better than their fucking movies.
Yeah, but see, like, the only reason I think the problem is it's too much of a fucking big bite to chew. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think they can, for whatever reason, I think it's just the way they fucking gather personnel or whatever.
Well, it comes from the top down.
I don't think that they have a grasp of what they... Like their view of it is fucking skewed, and it's way off.
You're absolutely 100% right. We were just talking about that. They took over Star Wars, and they're like, we want to make a huge money grab. We want to change it. We want to get new viewerships. We already got our base. We want more, so we're going to add new characters, and we're going to make the story about the new characters. No, you can finish out the story, the Skywalker story, with the original characters. Then do other movies and other shows with new characters.
I like how George Lucas didn't even go.
I heard he didn't even go to the fucking premiere.
I heard, dude, that just tells you right there. It's like
there's a guy, Brian. I think his name's Brian Dunnigan, and he's a comedian.
We saw it.
He's the one that does the George Lucas impersonations.
You've seen it, right? The one John chose. Made fun of the trailer.
Well, he did another one where he's camping out.
Oh, and
to see the movie.
I gotta see that, dude.
It's fantastic.
I show everybody
such a spot on impersonation.
That laugh kills me. No, but you're absolutely right, Jamie. And I was telling John before this, the reason why Marvel does it right, and the reason
Let's get into it, though.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's get into it. Let's not waste the air. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Nick, John, and Jamie Show. I'm John.
I'm Nick.
And I am Jamie.
Welcome, gentlemen. Here it is.
In our new setup. I'm still kind of fucked up over here, dude.
We rearranged this.
I feel like I should be like Jamie and saying kind of shit like Howard Stern. And
Howard Stern.
Because I'm sitting in Jamie's spot.
Straight jizzing. We had to switch things around. We had a minor
I haven't said straight jizzing in a while.
No, it's probably been like 30, 40 episodes ago.
I'll have to
try to make that
shoehorn that in there.
We got to announce this is our 98th episode, right?
98th episode.
We got 2 more to our 100, the 00, brothers.
That's right, man. That's right. We managed to maintain.
Who would have thought we would have got there?
I know, right?
Our wives certainly wouldn't have thought that.
When we started the podcast, it was like such a sort of recreational thing that it kind of opens us up to be like, it might not last. You know, it might not, but, you know, we persevered for sure. And this being December 20th, the day after the big Star Wars event. So the day after, God, I'm stuttering on the name.
Which that kind of like, that was
the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, but the shit one is kind of what sparked That was like that was
The Last Jedi, right?
Yeah, wasn't that like one of the first episodes? Not one of the first, but it was like early.
It was early
Because we bashed the fuck out of that for a while.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question, John?
Go
Since
ahead.
you've seen the movie, I can't ask you. What do you think would have been a better name for this? The Star Wars, the Final Order, or that would have been a better name.
That would have
right?
been a better name.
For actually what went on in this movie.
Yeah.
That would have been a better name.
So yesterday,
Because the Rise of Skywalker really didn't rise. Yeah.
there's a lot to
Sorry,
unpack.
Jamie. Don't want to spoil shit.
Nah, that's fine.
So there's a lot to unpack. We're going to talk about Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Nick and I and our boys, we went out to go see it last night. Today
my
being
phone,
December
shit.
20th. No interference from your phone so far, Nick.
I heard a little bit.
Oh, did you?
I'll put it on the floor.
Okay,
It's
good.
been my phone.
Is it?
We
I put
identified the culprit.
Yeah, that one did it too.
Yeah.
One phone.
I need this. I need to see it just in case.
I mean,
the
the
wife.
studio's pretty much, a couple microphones, some chewing gum wrapper, and some tin foil.
Yeah.
So it's bound to pick up some interference.
Some reverb.
But Nick and I went out to see it last night. And, Jamie, you didn't get a chance to see it. You scheduled this weekend to see it?
Yeah, I'm going to go see it probably Monday night.
Monday? Okay.
I figured that would be somewhat safe to go see it, probably.
Theater wasn't full when we
Yeah,
went.
well,
But then again,
never
to
mind.
Nick's
There were
point,
six movies going in between.
Yeah,
nine,
but
7
still.
and 9.
Yeah.
But still.
The parking lot was packed, man. And there was even an
There was a
accident.
lot of people there.
There was even an accident. We had to tail around to get back in the fucking parking lot.
Yeah.
But do you think if the one that shall not be named...
It fucked it all up.
Yeah,
It fucked it up.
Yeah, it did. Okay.
JJ had an article. I mean, I talked about it. There was he did an interview a couple weeks ago about how he gave credit to Ryan for taking chances. He thought that was great, but then he also bashed him for leaving things unanswered, like things that he pushed aside like they weren't that big a deal, like who Snoke was, Rey's parents. He's like, it just made no sense.
Yeah.
And it's almost like he's covering himself for having to make this movie, because it's almost to the point where I felt that he was pushed into making the movie.
Yeah, I don't know why he did it.
Because he said he didn't want to. Originally, they offered
would
him,
you-
they,
why would
they
you want
offered
to?
him all 3 movies, and he said, no, I don't
Yeah.
want to do it.
Why would you want to grab a hold of a dumpster fire?
It's not. So he had a chance to do it clean, right? J.J. Abrams, right?
He had a chance to do all 3.
Yeah, and then he was like, "Nah, I'm just going to do the first one," and then, like you said, the dumpster fire. But
then the other-
if you look at it from just a business sense, it's still an over $1 billion movie. And
No,
to your point, and if you
business
make
sense.
this point, you hit this right on the head, and I remember this from when we first reviewed The Last Jedi. You said, "Yeah, $1.2 billion, John. That's great, but we're in $2 billion range where that's attainable now."
I wouldn't want to be
Especially
Jason.
with Star Wars in front of it.
Yeah, and they shit the bed and could have made that much more. So even if you're not even married to the property and you're just looking at good business sense, because that movie shit the bed, you're cutting your revenue stream short.
But I'm just wondering, I definitely wouldn't want to be JJ's wife because he's afraid to finish. You know what I mean? That's why I didn't want to do all 3. Lost.
Yeah. So let's set this up. So obviously we went and saw Rise of Skywalker. Nick, you and I saw it last night. We're going to definitely spoil it, but we'll do what we typically do. We'll give it a quick rating for anybody that's listening right now, and then if they haven't seen it yet, then except for you, Jamie, you're going to get spoiled.
Yeah, that's fine.
So what are we doing? A's,
I don't think I'm
B's,
missing much.
or like a 1 to 10?
We could do. I don't know. It's a dealer's choice. What do you want to do?
Let's do like a 1 to 10, 10 being the best, 1 being shit.
Okay.
Real quick, what did you rate The Last Jedi at?
What's the first one?
I double backstep.
Oh, let's start with the
or
first one.
backpedaled.
The Force Awakens. What did you rate it as?
I don't remember what I rated it.
Just
but I
think about
I
it right now.
Probably around an 8 and maybe 8.5.
Okay, I can tell you what I rated it at. I rated it at a 9, about 9.5.
Yeah.
But Last Jedi poo-pooed that because it fucked the whole whole
It did.
storyline of
It
Luke.
actually did.
The whole storyline of Luke, like it made
Yep.
it not fucking
It damaged
worth
it.
Yeah.
So now it's more like 8.2.
So it
8.3.
changed for if we're going,
Because the one story fucked the other story.
Yeah.
And now this
Isn't that
story
something?
Now this story fucked The Last Jedi. So they constantly fucked each other.
Yeah.
That's why this trilogy sucked.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you. So wait, let's before we get into it, I'm going to give.
I didn't get the ratings. I didn't get the ratings for the movies. I'm sorry. The movie Last Jedi was 2. Mm-hmm. I gave it a 2. I give it a 2 because it is a Star Wars movie. But outside that,
that's totally accurate.
It's 2 or 3.
So generous.
2 or 3. No, you're generous when you said 7.5.
I'm very.
This one actually, I'll give it like an 80, an 8. That's being generous.
8 generous. You're giving a generous rating of an 8 for Rise of Skywalker.
An 8.
You're giving Last Jedi a 2.
Yeah.
And then what happened with Force Awakens?
8.3.
8.3. So it came down about a point or so.
Right.
Okay. So
because it's watchable. I did enjoy it. I wasn't like, this sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's plot holes all over the fucking thing because he's just trying to make up.
Just real quick. Okay, so think about your ratings. Okay,
before we're not spoiling yet.
Fine. But listen, I just want to make a quick point. Now think about your ratings, and then now think about how the fact that they can make a good movie, aka Rogue One, in current times. Mm-hmm. And now think about your rating, and then make your ratings again.
But see,
that's my point.
See again, Rogue One was they couldn't deviate from a plot. They had to stay within a plot. But they could back to my point. My point, not on the show. My point.
That's very true. But that was like it was still like pretty much an open canvas, as far as how they could get there.
My point before you got here, we were talking upstairs, was the reason why Marvel has done so well is you have a guy ahead of it that created a storyline and said, and he's not directing anything, but he goes, "This is my storyline. I'll give the directors autonomy to do whatever they want, but stay within the storyline." You have creative autonomy.
Know your role, stay within your lane.
You have creative autonomy in the storyline, but don't get outside my storyline. Mm-hmm. That didn't happen in Star Wars. She just said, JJ seems like a good guy. I'll let him write a script, do a movie. Rian Johnson, he seems like a great guy. Go off of what JJ did. And then fucked it all up, and it's like doesn't make any sense.
So that's because
she didn't come in with a storyline. She
didn't set guidelines.
She didn't set guidelines. There's no guidelines. There's no rhyme or reason to where this trilogy went from beginning.
Management has failed.
Yeah,
that's really what it comes down to.
So I was a bit jaded after I had to backpedal so hard on my 7.5 rating of The Last Jedi.
I probably would have been right there with him. He talked me off the edge.
So it's like, and then when we started to peel back this stinky onion, I was like, man, that was really generous, that 7.5 for The Last Jedi. So going into this, knowing that I had such low expectations because of the faux pas that was episode 8, I said I'll be cautiously optimistic, and then as I was watching this movie, that cynicism, skepticism, and I'm a fucking fan, right? Crept in, and I started dismantling this movie as I was watching it.
So was I,
which was hard, man. It was really because
you don't want
shitty. I didn't want to.
You want to enjoy it. You just want to sit there and be like even the prequels. I enjoyed. I didn't dismantle as I watched.
Yeah.
And that was the question I had. That was my other question. So if you were to rate, obviously the originals were great.
So let me rate this real quick.
But the 3 compared to the original, to the prequels.
Well, why don't you just say all of them together?
Okay. Because the other ones are great. New Hope, Empire.
All 3 of them.
Yeah, they're great. I'm saying compare these new ones to the prequels. So far, I'd rather watch the prequels.
Over these ones?
I haven't watched the third one.
I haven't watched the prequels in a while.
Because you know what? I'll say something for the prequels. It was bad, somewhat good, then good. The movies went that order.
I would agree with that.
At least it's something to build on. You're building on better.
I've learned from my past mistakes. And I'm going to make it a little better on the second one and a little better on the third one.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like when I was watching the prequels.
Yeah, and that was fine.
And
the third one was good. I liked the third one. The Revenge of the Sith.
I did too.
It was really good. You know what I mean? I really don't have too much where...
I kind of like the second one too.
I like the second one too. The only thing I had about the second one is he can't do a fucking love story, George Lucas.
No. Well, that was my problem, and I think they could have really dove more into the Clone Wars.
Yes,
I think that I needed more there.
Because they talked a lot about it in the original.
Yeah, they were like, you know what I mean? It was like a big story, and then we just got like a little taste.
Yeah.
It kind of bummed me out.
Yeah.
And so
I agree.
I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10.
Ooh, you went lower than me.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10 only because there is a lot. Again, because I got into that mode where I'm watching this thing and I'm like, what the fuck?
You're just trying to break it down in your head.
I'm
But
like, what
I wouldn't even feel that bad because, listen, if it was...
No, I feel bad because it's not... I feel bad because...
All right, maybe I'll do a 7.5.
It was
you got
shitty.
me on there, yeah.
Right? And believe me...
It can't be
But if it was
close.
good,
Can't be
though-
in the 80s. Can't be in the 80s.
And if it was even a little bit better than what you think or whatever, a little bit less, but you wouldn't be dismantling it. That's the point.
And that's what I think. I think I'm coming in.
Because I didn't dismantle The Force Awakens. The only thing I had was Luke didn't speak.
had a
when I
great
originally
time.
saw it, and the whole New Hope thing. But it didn't bother me as much because I thought I was all hopeful for the next movie. I'm like, oh, we get to see Luke Skywalker. I'm
Yes.
like, I'm fine with all that bullshit.
Yep.
I'm even fine. And I like the twist where Han dies. I thought that was cool.
Yes,
The
absolutely.
setup was great.
Yeah.
6, and the reason I'm judging it so harshly is really because of
7.
The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Coming off The Last Jedi, I'm like, fool me once, fool me twice, and you just have this unconscious or conscious bias to where you're like, I'm going to go hard on this movie, even though I wanted to. I'm rooting for it. I am rooting for it like hard, and then I was like, and I just couldn't avoid
You got
it.
an argument with Jack on the way over. You're like, don't spoil anything for me.
Yeah.
Because Jack must have read some article, and John's like, don't. Stop,
Yeah.
stop,
I was
stop.
barking.
I
at
couldn't help it. I just started like reading like the comments and stuff. I
Yeah.
couldn't help myself this time because the other times I didn't read shit.
him. Yeah.
And I'm not like really like I kind of had.
Dude, I went dark. Like, I didn't want to see anything.
I
didn't
went
watch
dark on the
anything.
last couple.
Yeah.
And then this time I kind of figured what was going to happen, and it did. From what I've seen and read.
So we're gonna get into it, Jamie. Of course, you're not minding it that we're gonna
No, I
spoil
don't
the
give a
shit
shit.
out of some stuff. So
I actually don't want to really. Well, I know you have to spoil the Mandalorian a little bit.
Yeah,
no,
but-
we don't. No, we don't. No, we don't.
You can
No,
spoil
we can be kind.
We don't.
Yeah,
have, we don't have to tell you anything.
That piece of property is. I enjoy that thoroughly.
No, we won't.
That I don't want to.
No,
Actually,
we can talk about it.
We can talk up to 6. We don't have
Yeah.
to talk any more than. We don't have to talk
Totally.
about the 7th episode because yes, there's a point in this that matters in the Rise of Skywalker, but it's
Yeah,
not the main premise.
That's fine.
It's just something that helps it along.
I really enjoy the Mandalorian
It's good.
to the fullest.
Really good. So now,
Again, good writing and a budget, so they have to appease to it. So they can't. They go, oh my god, we got all this money, we can do all this shit.
yeah,
No,
it's done.
sometimes
well.
less is better.
It's totally done well, and I agree with you wholeheartedly, Nick. So now that we have our ratings done, Nick, you're at 7.
7.5 now.
7.5.
I'm gonna hold steady there.
I'm at a 6, and I know that's harsh, and there is some, and we'll break down some of the things that we liked and some of the things that we disliked about it. But if you haven't seen it and you don't want to have anything spoiled, stop the podcast now and then revisit afterwards, and then you can enjoy all the stuff that we talk about. So, fair warning, spoilers are coming on Rise of Skywalker. So we get into it, and Nick, you pointed this out in the beginning. You hear the voiceover, right? The voiceover. Was that in the beginning? The voiceover of what's his name? Palpatine.
Oh yeah.
And let me just take a step back. There was a lot of things that I really, really genuinely liked. I love the world. I love the scenery. I love the fact that whoever the director of photography is, they do a killer job at painting this world.
No, it's evil. It's
awesome.
It's exactly what you think. There's a planet called Exodus where it's not on any star chart
or something like
No,
that.
I thought it was Exodus. Whatever. It doesn't really matter.
That's biblical.
It's a Sith homeworld or Sith
Like it's almost like a hidden planet.
hidden planet
nebula.
that the Sith made at some point.
Yeah.
And supposedly Palpatine, that's where he's been hiding. And you can't get there unless you have a specific.
Like a holocron or something like that.
It looks like
right?
a holocron. That's
It
what
looks
I
like
thought.
it. They called it something else,
But I thought it was. I would have been cooler if they just said holocron.
Yeah,
that would have been
that
better.
would've been cool.
A Sith holocron. That would have made more sense.
Yeah.
Stick with your fucking canon. Stop jumping out of there. Anyway, well, Kylo Ren finds one, and then he goes there. It's like the first 5 minutes of the movie. He goes there, and this is where you find out who Snoke is,
yes.
because he's walking up and he hears Palpatine talking, but he doesn't see Palpatine. He doesn't know where he's at. And he's walking past these little creatures, and he sees like a jar of like a little Snoke face. And he's like, I created Snoke. And you hear Palpatine say this. And it was actually in the prologue about Palpatine, which I thought was fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we didn't even know he was, outside the trailers, you didn't even know he was in the universe. You thought he was dead. It's kind of fucked up that they didn't even hint that he was alive.
But she probably should be dead, honestly, but whatever.
He should be dead.
He should be dead. He blew up in the fucking, even if he didn't
Yeah.
fucking die in a fall, which he could have been like Luke and fucking Cat on us. He blew up in the fucking Death Star.
Dude.
Is Mace Windu alive? Come on.
I hope so. I really do. That's the only one.
Let's get to that point right there.
So that's a great point, right? And I made this comment when I posted on Facebook. I posted and said, you know, that we went out and saw the movie, and there was a couple of people who were like, "I saw it, I loved it, I saw it." This, you know, and one of the bits of feedback that I had was that there was no sense of jeopardy.
No.
Like if someone dies, but they don't really die, and you kind of start to get used to, oh, they're not really dead, then you don't have any sense of loss when you fall in love with these characters. And if they put into mortal jeopardy, you're like, I know, oh yeah, they got stabbed, you know, they got stabbed through the heart with a lightsaber, but it's a main character and we love them. They're not really dead. So they did that over and over again in this.
They did.
And you're like, why do I give a fuck if someone dies? I'm not shocked. I'm not disappointed, because I'm like, all right, well, they're going to come back. And they might not come back as as a physical being, but they'll come back as a Force ghost. Right? And then what are the rules around Force ghosts?
Yeah.
Right? It's like Yoda can come back, but then doesn't come back.
Do they shit?
Well, no, but like, do they come back young? Or do they come back old? Because when Luke came back, it was like he looked old as fuck.
Oh yeah, I like when they
rickety
did
as possible.
the Anakin thing. He comes back like in the originals. He was like the bald fucking dude.
Yeah.
and then they like redid it, and then he comes back as like the young.
He was the actor that played Darth Vader.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And then they just took the makeup off, and
Yeah.
that was the guy in the original trilogy.
Exactly.
And then
better.
And then when Lucas redid it, he put
Anakin.
the Anakin from
Yeah.
the prequels in, and it's like, okay. And then, so it's like, and what powers do they have? You know, if they're all powerful, why aren't they helping out when these people are in real jeopardy? Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like the rules are kind of fucked up with the Force Ghosts, and they're inconsistent across the way. I know that Star Wars is notorious for not burying the lead in their titles. It's like Empire Strikes Back. The fucking Empire is striking back.
Yeah.
You know, Return of the Jedi. It's like Luke's a Jedi. He's coming back. It's his return. It's very literal, right? But even so, like in especially with Empire, like the good guys lost. And they just got done winning big in New Hope.
And they lost a lot.
They lost. Luke lost a hand. Han went into carbonite. You know, shit got fucked up. They got destroyed on Hoth.
Mm-hmm.
It's like and it set the stage to where you're like, holy shit, man.
What's going to happen?
What's going to happen? That's exactly right, Nick. And in this, I felt like I know everything that's going to happen. The only thing that surprised me, and you actually called us out when we were sitting in the theater, which was spoilers. Han shows up. He shows up.
That's the only thing that surprised me.
Yeah, he shows up as a manifestation of
Kylo.
Kylo's dreams.
It wasn't a Force ghost. It was just a manifestation.
Yeah, because they couldn't have him show up as a Force ghost because he's not Force
Yeah.
And
sensitive.
I think they've taken too many liberties in this one about Force. I
Thank you.
thought Yoda even
where that makes it gross.
Yeah. Yoda fucking using lightning to fucking blow up that tree was fucking dumb.
Yeah,
I don't want to get back on that movie, but you're setting, because the previous one, Obi-Wan was a Force ghost. He couldn't do anything. He was just there as moral
voice.
Moral
Yes.
support. That's all he was there for.
Yeah.
And that's what the whole point of the Force Ghost was. Now he can affect things.
Yeah. So there's logic holes that are kind of fucked up. And there was definitely again.
Let's get into the Delude. How about that? Let's get into
Well, you go ahead, man.
Oh God! I mean, I'm one of those guys. I love the mythology of the Force and goes through Star Wars, but when it makes sense and when you put it in there appropriately, just don't throw it in there as to correct a wrong, to fix something, fix bad writing. There's this delude that all of a sudden this new word comes into Star Wars universe when delude means when two Force entities are connected so strongly by the Force, they create a delude. They didn't get into it. They just said, oh, this is what it is, and Palpatine doesn't know what me and you have, Rey. What the fuck is that, dude? All of a sudden, just because you guys can interact on a cosmic level, you're going to throw it in our face now because they didn't explain it in the last two?
Yeah, everything was
it's
really
fucked up.
Everything was really fast. There wasn't a lot of things that were explained. There was a lot of characters or actors that showed up, and it was like, you are so not necessary to this story that it's. I'm wondering what
is
the
that
hell.
girl? Carrie
Russell.
Carrie Russell's character meant nothing.
Yeah, she played this character that was like an old Poe love interest. She wore this helmet, and it's like someone said, "Hey, JJ, can I get in your movie? I love Star Wars," and he was like, "Sure."
Wow.
And then she shows
Sure,
up.
I got a nice little blowjob from it.
Not anymore, man. That's old Hollywood.
Or she offered it.
Yeah, oh,
It's
okay.
different if
It's
she
different
offers.
if she offers.
It's got to be your plan.
But it was like there was. I love the fact that I love Rey's character. I think she's an awesome character.
So do I. I thought they could have done so much more with her throughout this. I think they rushed her a year and a half, and she's already a Jedi Master.
Yep.
I think it's full of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And Daisy Ridley is legit, man. She emotes and she brings it when she performs.
Yeah, I think she's the best part of this series.
I will say this
honestly.
though, Poe Dameron, what's his face? He played. I didn't like his character before. I liked it in this.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's the
'cause
one,
I think
it's
he's
the one
sucked in
thing
the
I
other
thought that changed.
And
for
okay.
yeah, I
character
agree.
development. He actually had some character development.
Yeah, and Oscar Isaac is an amazing actor. That's the one thing that they're not shy of. They're all very talented actors and actresses. I think the dialogue that they had, they did the best that they could with it. But it just because of the rust nature.
It's stinky.
Dude, I hear
really
you, man.
is.
The
It's
rust
stinky.
nature of J.J. Abrams.
This does not sound like a 7.5, by the way.
Dude, I'm shitting on it because it's like this is the
Just
stuff
saying,
I need to
I'm just
exercise.
asking.
I need to exercise from my being,
I guess I rated it that high because it's the end.
and it's still Star Wars.
And it's still Star Wars. It's not The Last Jedi. It's better than The Last Jedi.
I'm sure it was.
I'm
It
giving,
was,
I
for
am,
sure.
I-
which is
I-
not a high standard,
I would
by
gi-
the way.
I would give it a solid C.
Okay.
I would. I would
Okay.
give it a solid C.
No, I'm not
7.5.
bashing on that. I'm sure it's better.
We're
than
just
Last
talking
Jedi.
about all the negatives. There are some positives.
yeah.
You know, the Poe Dameron character is a
No,
positive.
that's good that they made that a little bit better because that was.
I do like the reveal. And I know you're not a fan of it, of Palpatine, Rey being a Palpatine. I like that because it does have a linkage to her Force lineage. There is something there.
Yeah.
and I like the fact that the reason why the parents gave her up is to hide her from her father. That his father that was still alive.
Dude, did I tell you what this guy told me? Showed me at work. He got a text from a buddy of his, and they were talking about he saw, and it relates to what you're talking about, Nick. And he goes, he's showing me the text, and then I see this one section of the text. He goes, "So now we know, Palpatine fucks."
Yeah. And your wife goes, "Ew, really?" And I'm like, He's the emperor. Who gives a fuck? He's a Sith emperor. He could probably make stupid girls do whatever they want because the Force, my Jedi mind trick, and he's the man. He has all the power. You don't fuck me, you die.
You don't know about Me Too.
Well, it's like Spaceballs.
Jamie's waving his hand.
Spaceballs, where Rick Moranis is like, I'm rich and powerful, and you know it, like that. And he's playing with the dolls.
Me jerking off into this plane is perfectly normal.
You will forget all about it.
That's right.
No,
he's instant roof.
There is good stuff about it. It's just, it's hard to, at the very end of it, give it a bad rating. I think it tied up some stuff, but in the end, it was a 50-50 movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some people are really going to like it. It's not as diverse as The Last Jedi, even though critics are making it out to be the fucking worst movie ever, because they're assholes. And
I don't think it's the worst.
No.
Well, you know why they're doing that?
Because The Last Jedi they loved.
Yeah, because they fucked up on the last one.
Of course.
And now they're just like, we fucked up, so now we gotta.
Well, I also think this is Disney admitting to what they did wrong in The Last Jedi without saying it, because they let JJ correct everything that all the fans hated about The Last Jedi. He didn't have enough time to do it. It probably would have taken another 2-3 movies to fix it.
Yeah.
But he tried to scrap it into one. I think that's Disney telling the fans without coming out and saying to the fans that we fucked up.
Yeah. We're trying.
We're trying, and we just want to move past. And I think with The Mandalorian, they're showing that they're really taking it seriously going forward because what they don't understand is we want things to link together nicely, just like they do in Marvel. We want things to link together.
Yeah.
And if they link together nicely with good storylines, they don't have to be big $400 billion budget movies. Just link them together.
Yeah, but I think that was the biggest problem, though, Nick. I think that they did a DC. They did a DC move, like where you made the comparison to Marvel, and where Kevin Feige's got this long-term vision that's over 10 years. Like that was from the beginning. Like when they talked to Chris
It
Evans,
might have deviated here and there his vision, but he had from him. I mean. But he kept to the point.
Nuances were changed along the way, of course.
Not major details.
They didn't own Spider-Man, right?
Look,
so they brought Spider-Man in.
For instance, the reason why What's-His-Face didn't direct 7, because when he finally read the script, he thought he was going to be able to use Luke. And Rian Johnson has him killed off.
Yeah.
So that right there tells you they had no storyline. There was no plan.
Yeah, it was like let the writer director decide what's going to go on and
that right
hope
there
for the best.
That just shows right there that Kathleen Kennedy really didn't have a plan. She just figured if I get a good director to direct a Star Wars movie, they will do it.
I can spike the ball and call it a day. And that was the thing. So if you think about it, like Kevin Feige was talking to these actors that were engaged early and said, "Listen, dude, like Chris Evans has gone on record for this. This is a 10-year commitment." And he was like, and he balked. I think he said no a couple times. He was like, I don't know, man. That is a lot. And so that means that they had a plan.
But let's be honest, he had nothing else going on, too.
Yeah, well. But they had a plan. Well, he had Fantastic Four.
Yeah, but yeah, and what's he doing right now too?
Wait!
Oh, he's cashing.
Well, I'm
checks.
sorry. Robert Downey Jr. had
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. would be the only one.
Yeah, that Dr. Doolittle looks good, man.
But I'm saying he's like the only one that.
But I'm saying they asked him when they said, when you want to sign up, it's going to be for 10 years, and and then
it's a big commitment.
That means that there had to be a plan associated with it, maybe or maybe not. But the way it panned out, here's the big litmus test. I just listened to our review. I just listened to our review of Endgame. The joy and glee and excitement in our voices as we're like fumbling over each other in the best way possible to get. I was losing track of like timeline and storyline. You had just recently saw it, so but we were like couldn't get it out fast enough of how tickled and excited we were about that movie. I walked out of this movie and it wasn't even close. As far as the same feeling that you get.
No, nowhere near.
And so that's the bar.
that is the bar. And Disney should know the bar. That's their shit.
Fuck yeah,
you know what I mean? And I think that's why they had that big meeting. Remember that closed door meeting about a year and a half ago about where to go to Star Wars? All the big wigs, Feige, the CEO of Disney, were all sitting in this. And I think that's why he is pushing in. They're not. I believe that she's on her way out. They're just trying to save face to all these people.
Yeah.
And they're going to eventually let him run everything.
Yeah, I mean, that would be great.
The sci-fi, whatever they would call it, the sci-fi genre of Disney.
Yeah. Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars and Marvel.
Yeah.
Who's running the damn Mandalorian shit? Because
that's Favreau, man.
I know it's Favreau.
That's Favreau, but who's still Catherine Kennedy? But I believe
Kathleen.
Whatever.
She
Who
probably
fucking cares.
There's no way
He's out.
Yeah,
I think it's Feige. I believe it,
dude.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
If you want to take a bet, I bet in 2 or 3 years you come out and there's going to be an announcement that he's running the show.
And
she's taking a step back.
It, just like the way
she's quote unquote retired.
That whole Mandalorian is the little nuances in there that like the old Star Wars use, like how they like pan in, pan out.
Oh yeah.
Can I say something about the Mandalorian? I don't mean to cut you off, but I've been dying to tell you guys this. You ever watch? The reason why I talked about the Force and how it manipulates people around them, which I love. You ever watch the Return of the Jedi? Obviously, why you ever watch Return of the Jedi?
Yeah,
I've watched it hundreds of times. Obviously, I'm sure both of you guys have. At the very end, when Luke's sitting in the Emperor's room, and before he grabs the lightsaber, the battle is lost, right? Because the Emperor is exactly getting his way. They're going to lose. But as soon as Luke teeters and grabs the lightsaber and does what the Emperor wants, it seems like the Force is in fluctuation. And then that's when everything shifts, where the
tide starts to turn.
The tide starts to turn.
Yeah.
Because the three people with off the Force sensitives that are using their Force to manipulate the battle are using it's creating creating little ripples.
Yes.
And the same thing.
I love that.
Same thing in The Mandalorian, what I was talking about earlier, when with the Mandalorian, he's not an evil guy, but he's all about the money for his people.
Yeah.
And he could easily make a huge bounty by just turning this little thing in, but the little thing used the Force, saved his life, and it changed the little ripple of using the Force changed his mindset.
That's a good way to.
And the same thing happened in 7.
Yeah,
in episode 7. I don't want to tell you because you want to watch it, but
I'll watch it tonight. Actually,
something happens.
You mean episode 7 of The Mandalorian?
Episode 7 of The Mandalorian. Something happens in 7 that changes. The guy uses the Force and changes somebody's mindset.
Yeah,
that has a ripple in the episode.
Yeah,
so that's
a great way to look at the Force.
That's what I'm talking about. That's how they should be looking at the Force going forward. Not these, look at these new Force abilities. Yes, I like to see Force abilities when they're used.
That's video game shit, man.
Exactly, when they're used appropriately. But that's how the Force should be used, to manipulate the little ways. Yeah. Somebody has a Force ability, they use it in different ways. Just having the ability affects people around you.
My point about the Mandalorian,
it's charisma.
Too, like it does dip into it does dip into the Force and all that, but like just like the way,
but it has a direct impact on the show without having a direct impact.
And like the storylines of it like gives you enough information that you're satisfied, but still keeps you curious, which like the originals do. Mm-hmm. Like it has like all the same like effects.
So wait a minute. So the ability that transfers from that's shown in The Mandalorian and is also showcased in is that in episode 6? It is also in Rise of Skywalker. You know, I'm trying to be cryptic about this.
I don't know. You can say it, whatever.
Do you want us to tell you?
I don't care. Whatever.
Because it will ruin some of the next episode for you.
Yeah, I'll just watch it.
It's one of the things that I like about the time. One of the things I like about the Rise of Skywalker is
you like that ability. I like the ability, but I wish they would have gone into it long before this.
I like it because it ties into the prequels when he's talking about Sidious, and he says he could actually
use the midichlorians to heal people,
and bring people back from the dead. You know what I mean? And so
I get that.
But that's a nice nod.
I get that, but
and it should be very rare.
Why hasn't Yoda or anybody else hinted towards that before?
And
Rey
yes.
actually is like all powerful and knew exactly what it was.
Well, that's
the hokey part. Like she's like, I use my force energy to heal.
Yeah, the fact that there's no significant amount of training and that
And what was the
happens
point of
over a
that
couple
right
years.
there anyway? I guess the point of that was to show that they could do it there, and then later in the movie they could do it again.
Yes,
Because to heal the
Of
snake,
course,
they could
foreshadowing.
They could have just killed the fucking snake and moved on. They had fucking blasters and a lightsaber. What the fuck do you need to heal the damn thing for?
Another logic gaps.
See, what happens is she heals the snake with her hand, like kind of like a new power of the force, which is fine.
They get sucked through the ground through like almost like quicksand. They wind up in these caverns from this worm-like snake that chews through the rock.
Okay.
And then they become face to face with this, and this thing's nasty. But she asks everybody to Rey tells everybody
She feels that it's hurting.
yes, and to sort of lower. It's very Star Trek with the rock monster.
Oh, I could ask you another question.
But she calms this thing down, this big vicious animal, and then she sees that it's hurt, and it's like taking the mouse taking the splinter out of the lion's paw type of thing, and she heals it with her force power. That no training, just it's all intuition, it's all force and everything.
Or maybe it was in the books and they didn't explain.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But I don't. It goes back to it's like all right, well,
and that happens in The Mandalorian.
If you read the books, you'll figure out what's going on.
Something like that happens in The Mandalorian.
Yeah, there's a lot that I hope when you watch it that you have, because we're shitting on it right now, that you're pleasantly surprised by things. I really am rooting for this movie in my heart.
I have no,
but my brain is telling me, shut up, stupid.
I know that pretty much. I knew like how you guys are reacting is exactly how I'd be reacting.
Yeah.
Only
You'd
because
probably be worse.
no, I don't think so. I had expectations of like.
And how about them bringing back Snoke?
Yeah, I knew.
Holy crap! No, I'm just kidding.
Oh God!
In the robe, man.
No,
it was but it was dawned on the robe.
Although, wait a second, real quick, Jamie. I'm so sorry. Their Palpatine had like a red, like undershirt on. It was almost like a glorified
Like he was like
ascot.
He was like Dracula or something.
Yeah.
But no,
Remember?
Yeah.
I kind of figured that
I wasn't gonna.
I
talk about that.
I knew it.
I'm trying to get him
I
going.
know exactly that I would like coming out of this how I feel. Like I guarantee you, I'm gonna go watch it, and I'll be like, yeah, that was definitely better than The Last Jedi, but that's not saying much.
Yeah.
That's how I'm gonna feel.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's exactly what we said.
You might as well have seen the movie with that criticism.
I guarantee you that I knew that before you guys even said anything. When you guys said that, I wasn't surprised.
Yep.
Even the fight, even the non-force scenes, like there was one scene where they're like, "Oh, we got to hit this one tower so all the starships won't get out of the atmosphere." And I'm like, "What?
You know what I saw?
What the fuck is that?"
When I was watching the trailers, like
we'll transfer it to our Star Destroyer. No, they won't know.
Yikes.
And then how Finn knows. Now Finn is force sensitive. They finally answer that
that's
fucking.
right.
They finally answer that fucking question.
now, and that's the other thing too. So it's like I kind of figured like when we first saw the trailers and then you hear Palpatine's fucking voice, you're like, okay, obviously this dude's gonna be back, and why? How? And obviously it's going to be a big part of it.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was going to be like that. And then the other day, right before the movie, they released like that one chick, I don't know who she is, had like the double lightsaber. I was like, oh yeah, they're pulling out all the stops.
Well, in the trailer, that's Rey.
Oh, it was
So
Rey?
they do a scene. Remember?
It's like a Dagobah. It's like a Dagobah thing with Luke.
Yeah. So,
But she's already she's a master, so it doesn't affect her as much.
A master.
It was so opening day.
Yeah, it probably did good.
Opening day for according to Box Office Mojo for Star Wars.
It did 40, right?
The Last Jedi. Opening day was $220 million. This opening day, or maybe it was opening weekend.
Had to be opening weekend.
Yeah,
that seems like one day. It's just way too much.
Yeah.
That'd be said.
It's opening weekend. So this did $60 million for last night.
That's
worldwide.
All right. I mean,
I heard it's shit in China though, man, and that's a big deal because China for the Force Awakens, Force Awakens did really, really well in China.
Yeah, it's one of those things where there's a lot of issues. There's a lot of logic.
Dude,
holes.
he was climbing uphill, dude.
He was climbing uphill as people were throwing rocks at him.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, sneeze.
He was putting out a rubber tire fire, which by the way, that's like really, it's impossible to do.
There's a place off of 95, the whole tire farm that went up one time, burnt up 95.
I know. My brother was stuck in there for 6 hours.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Oof. That thing, petroleum.
But you know what I'm saying though? It's that.
Yeah, and that's probably it's a
shame.
It's better than The Last Jedi. So if you really like The Last Jedi, you're gonna love this movie.
Oh, okay. For the
no, they won't because it corrects it changes everything.
So Nick and I were talking about this before we started the show, before you got here, Jamie. Like, if you had a magic wand, what would you do
if you were going to write a trilogy?
Get rid of The Last Jedi. I think if they even
well, no.
Okay,
you have to redo the whole thing because. All right, you don't have to redo the whole thing. If you want to just start,
fix it.
Fix it. What would you do to fix it?
Okay. First thing, I get rid of Snoke, whatever.
So you go right for episode 8.
Yeah, he's useless. I think that's like the worst part of that. Mm-hmm. They could have brought in somebody else or whatever the fuck.
Well, he wasn't useless if they used him the correct way.
Yeah, I'm just counting him useless because there's no fucking story.
What if Snoke was?
But then you said he's a clone.
What if Snoke was Dark Plagueis? And actually,
that would have been cool. They could have done that. But then, remember, we had this discussion a couple weeks ago about can you do Force clones? And then you're saying that Snoke is a clone. Yeah. Okay. So is Baby Yoda, not Baby Yoda, obviously, but
from Mandalorian.
Mandalorian, is he a clone?
No, go be.
Logic holes.
I hope not, because then they're diving into that trilogy, and I kind of want them to just.
Well, then you manufacture the Force. You know what I mean?
But I think it could be more than that. Like, I don't think that's the case. Bullshit. Yeah, I don't think that's the case. But I'm just saying, is that because we had this discussion before this movie came out about can you clone the Force? Because we did, because we thought that is an option. Is that an option for Baby Yoda?
Yeah, we were talking about that for sure. And it looks like that's what they don't go right. He says, I created Snoke.
That's all he said.
Emperor. But then after you pass all the test tubes and
containers. You see a picture of
what looks like a Snoke-like creature in formaldehyde in them. Almost like when you were in Aliens and you saw the face huggers in those containers.
And pretty much this whole thing was set up for him to get to his granddaughter.
Yes.
End of story.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Well, makes sense.
So how do you, knowing that Rey's a Palpatine, what do you think Rise of Skywalker really means? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
It's like Return of the Jedi had Luke returning, Empire Strikes Back, Empire fucks.
Yeah, you would think like there'd be like another Skywalker or something like that, I guess.
Well, there's a Palpatine that doesn't like being a Palpatine, so he likes Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia. So because he likes them and because they were kind to her, she takes on their last name.
Because couple times through the movie, people ask her, "Well, what's your last name?" And she goes, "I'm just Rey."
Yeah.
And at the end, somebody goes, "Well, what's your last name?" She goes, "I'm Rey Skywalker."
Oh, okay. I like to. I heard this discussion
so much
also.
Fun shitting on movies.
Yeah, especially movies we're supposed to love.
I heard in the discussion, and they were making it like because it's like a Disney play as far as like let's make some more money off this, but like how they smashed Kylo's mask in the second one, and now they brought it back just because. Let's make a dime or two. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or let JJ piss shit all over the fact that...
I will say this, though. You see the Ewoks in this. Mm-hmm.
That's true. A little yub-yub action.
Little yub-yub.
Dude, yub-yubs are...
And you also see the porgs, too.
Oh, that's a shame. I don't want to see those.
Yub-nub.
Yeah.
And Luke Skywalker... I don't want to get into that one.
So, yeah, there's a lot of things that
does Luke come back? on this?
He's a Force Ghost.
Force Ghost. Okay.
Yeah.
How about
when she throws away his lightsaber.
Oh yeah, did they tell you about how they got the light?
No, but she is in it. Maz is in it.
Yes.
Okay, well,
And her point in it was stupid too.
But
It's
how the fuck did
why
they-
the fuck you even have her in it?
How the
dude?
fuck did they get that lightsaber? I
Nope.
got to know
They
that.
never told us.
I think they might have, but it
Nope.
might have went
No,
by me. I
no.
thought she said Leia gave it to her.
Nope.
But how would she?
Not unless I
fucking
was in
got
the
it?
bathroom at that point.
I think it might have been when you were in the bathroom. I think she got it from Leia or something like
Yeah,
that.
but how did Leia get it?
Again, I don't have all the answers, but
Did it have Luke's hand attached to it?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Here's a one
Right?
thing. You know where they fucked up at? The flashback. Luke was having a blue lightsaber when he was training Leia. He didn't have the blue lightsaber then.
No.
He had the green.
That's right.
That was a fucking fuck up.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yes. How's about that? Exactly. And that's what I'm talking
I had
about.
one other question too. There was another one.
Dude, there's so much shit that you can pick apart, and it's like I don't know why. Like there was this interview that I listened to, and I mentioned this guy before. This guy Gabe Newell, who heads up this gaming company called Valve, and it's like Valve Entertainment or something like that. And he goes when they create games within his company. He said something that was so spot on. He goes, "We'll never be smarter than the internet." And he was being a little cheeky about it, but what his point was is that I'm never going to try and sneak one in on the end users that game on our platform, and I'm never going to try
Because they're
and
doing it
pull a fast one.
24/7, 7 days a week.
Because the internet is massive, and they're relentless, and they're ruthless, and they're going to rip you to pieces if you fuck with their shit. And so it's like having that sense of awareness when you're creating something that's so endearing or so beloved, you should know better.
Yeah.
You know, the people that are a part of Disney are getting paid tens of millions of dollars.
I think this is the end of Catherine Kennedy.
Yeah.
And it's definitely the end of Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, he's not going to see the light of day.
No, he's not coming
What
back.
do you think this movie's going to do box office wise?
I think
it'll still be good.
I think 800 million.
I don't think
if it does under $1 billion.
I think it's doing under $1 billion.
I think-
I don't think there's going to be a lot. Force Awakens did so well because people
Imagine that. That's your legacy. You killed Star Wars.
I know people here, right? People
Nobody's going to kill Star Wars.
Force Awakens did so well because people rewatched it.
Yeah.
I went twice. I know there's people who went 3 times, and now Last Jedi did well because Luke Skywalker came fucking
1.3
back.
billion.
But that's my point. How many times did people go see Last Jedi? I don't think it was.
I went twice because of Aiden. I didn't take him the first time with you
but
guys.
I'm telling
went
you,
once.
like that thing got bashed, dude.
you didn't go with the boys?
Did we see it opening?
You saw it with the boys and with the 3 of us. We didn't go with the boys.
Well, here's my point.
Thank you for being my memory.
But here's my point, though.
You're right. That is
It's
what
like,
happened. now
Force,
that you said it, I was like, that is what happened.
if you remember, Force Awakens was like a rolling steam. Like it was like full steam ahead. It was like a rolling force.
It was great.
Everybody's psyched up. Then they go see Last Jedi, and then you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just like the critics were blowing it for some reason because they got some like fucking backhanded deal or whatever the fuck.
I don't even know if they got a backhanded deal now. I think these critics just aren't Star Wars fans, and they like to see a change.
I don't know what happened.
I'm on the side of the critics this time. I went and looked on Rotten, the critics are tanking.
Yeah, but I don't believe in them anyway because it seems like they're just hopping on board because
it makes it just as random as
well
what it
because
does.
if you look at The Last Jedi, they gave it high praises, and then like the people who watched it, like just shit all over what they just said.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go look at like the amount of people that said that was a piece of shit, like compared to like the critics who said it was great. I mean, the
critics are
it drowns them out. It drowns out their word
for sure. I think like going back to the Magic Wand conversation, I would get rid of all 3 of these movies. I would have again Magic Wand. I would have went back to the early 2000s after the prequels, and then I would have got a much younger Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher, and I would have gave it to Christopher Nolan and said, Christopher Nolan, you can do the next 3.
I don't think he's into doing these kind of movies.
I would just love to see his take on it, man. I just saw that trailer for Tenet, that new movie he's doing.
Somebody made a really good point.
Good.
Somebody made a really good point on the internet. So
Russo
I can't take credit
brothers,
for it.
fuck that.
Or Russo brothers.
They-
right?
They should do a Star Wars movie.
They said that like this should have been done back in the 90s.
I don't know about that.
Because
I disagree with that just a little bit because the special effects weren't as sharp. I would have rather seen this than the prequels for sure.
Yeah, this and then like say the prequels, and then you could have fucking stretched that out.
I think you end it. You don't even do the prequels. You end it in just basically take the time slot that was dedicated to the prequels. You start with bringing back the original cast. Because then their age is on their side, right? Mm-hmm. They're in their 40s or 30s and stuff like that, and you can
have to pull out miracles.
Yeah, and you can still get.
Although Rogue One did. Rogue One was a fucking miracle.
True. That was, but none of the original cast. I mean,
but it was a miracle, dude.
It was
when you saw those people and you're like, "Fuck!"
Yeah,
like,
but then I would. But what I would have done too, man, is like I would have picked up where the Mandalorian is right now. Oh. Right, dude. Where the Mandalorian is, it's a shattered galaxy that's just trying to get together and reestablish the new order, right? And new order meaning like not evil, but the new republic, I should say.
Another kind of cheap move, though. Like, tell me, like, because there's so much buzz about the Mandalorian, like people are fucking loving it. There is very few.
It's the most downloaded movie, show.
On Netflix.
On Netflix.
And you can't deny the fact that
I'm sorry. It's outpacing
Stranger Things.
It's Stranger Things.
Especially how
it's on Disney Plus.
Especially how you don't like the internet's just fucking negative. It just is.
Yeah.
How many negative comments you don't see about the Mandalorian?
Nope.
No,
which is crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's getting so much buzz. Like it was almost, dude. That is so fucking predictable. I actually predicted the fact that they were going to use something from the Mandalorian in this movie. I thought it was going to be.
Well, everybody knew that. I mean, it's just the timing of it all.
Dude, because it just the fact that they had to fucking use something to give you like a little bit of a like pick me up because that other one was a piece of shit.
Over? Mm-hmm. I'm being fucking dead honest. Give him the shot he missed out on Return of the Jedi. Let fucking Spielberg take this shit.
That would be cool.
Just let him do it. I don't give a fuck how old he is.
Yeah.
The guy's still a fucking genius.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Why is he trying to convince somebody else to do it? Let him take it over.
Well,
or the Russo brothers. Fuck it. They're awesome.
Russo brothers with Marcus and McFeely as the writers.
Oh, dude.
Or
Taika Waititi, or what the fuck his name is. Can do an 80s soundtrack to it. I'm good. Just fucking somebody make a quality Star Wars movie. That's all I want.
Listen, if you were big Bob Iger,
I'd double down on Kenobi.
Okay,
they're double downing on that.
No.
Especially after Mandalorian, how well it's doing.
Listen, you were big Bob Iger, right? And you had fucking balls of steel.
Yeah.
And you just made The Last Jedi. And you know it was a piece of shit. Uh-huh. Would you make the call of like, yo, let's fucking make it right?
Yes. And go in like the Terminator.
That's what he did.
Mowing people down.
Would you be like, let's
redo it?
Let's just pretend this didn't happen.
No.
Oh, that call.
No.
Just sort of do a Ghostbusters.
I would love it.
Which, by the way, that fucking trailer.
Oh, we haven't talked about this.
Okay, that trailer.
Ghostbusters. All right, let's put a bow on this.
Okay.
So we gave our feedback. We definitely know what's going on. We definitely weren't shy of opinions as far as this movie is concerned. Talking about Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker.
I'll text you when I see it.
We're really, text you.
I want to hear that. Really, I want to hear your point.
Really stoked.
Just give me a number. I don't need the whole thing. Right. Just give me a number.
I'll be fair too, because I figured my number would be right around your guys.
Well, honestly. That's the point too. Like we're giving you some inside baseball type right now,
so you know what to expect.
So your expectations should be really low. Your expectations should be super low.
Well, not as low as
if you get pleasantly surprised. Then that would be awesome to hear.
Yeah. I still think a lot of the visuals
are amazing.
The Death Star scene, getting to the Death Star was pretty.
There's
cool.
a lot of throwaway shit. There's a lot of logic holes. There's some shit that's not explained that needs explanation, and even though there's all that stuff that's gone wrong, I didn't hate it.
No, I did. Hey, did you see more Jedis? That was the question I had. Did you see more Jedis besides Rey, and then obviously
no? But you saw a Coliseum full of Sith that didn't do shit.
Well, no, I think it was the Sith of the past. It was all in Palpatine.
Oh, how did you know that?
Because he said he wanted her to take over the Sith mantle.
Yeah, but who were all the people in the arena?
It was just visions of the past of all the Sith, just like when
That went right by me,
just
dude.
like,
and I didn't go on a pee break either.
I didn't go on a pee break then, motherfucker.
Yeah, I know.
No, it's just like when she was listening to all the Jedis of the past, and
Oh, come on, man. It's like you're going to go through this exposition of the Palpatine's voiceover, and you're going to tell people in the crawl what the hell's going on, and then you're going to be vague about that?
Yeah, they were vague.
Come
but
on.
I picked it up, but they were vague.
Wow.
That's what I figured it was.
The other thing too is if you think about like the whole story, like I'm just like thinking about like the Rey thing. Thinking about the whole story, the base of it was pretty much that like Anakin was supposed to be like the light, the chosen one, which even so say he was a chosen one, like it really made no sense. Like it just like it
Well, he could have been like a Yoda.
Yeah, that's where the Last Jedi fucked up this. Actually, probably fucked up everything because it made everything before Last
one
Jedi.
movie domino.
It did. It made everything before Last Jedi made it irrelevant.
Yeah.
That movie made everything
Again, would you? I think I would be like, listen,
I kill Ryan Johnson.
listen, if you think about it, they made a shit ton of fucking money off the Marvel movies and stuff like that.
Sure.
They could have even been like, dude, you know what? We're going to make this right.
Yeah.
And I will fucking put out a movie.
Well, we just talked about rebooting it.
Yeah. Is there an opportunity to do that?
Somebody wrote a huge article about rebooting the whole series.
They should.
Everything.
They should shutter the doors on this.
And start from one.
The problem
Not
is
start
that
from four.
Here's the real crime of it all: is that the actors are not
they're
in
dead.
their prime.
Nope.
And dead. Yeah,
They're fucking dead.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's
Father
like,
time, motherfucker.
yeah, and even watching Billy D. Williams come in and do his thing, I was like, ooh, it's like going to a Stones concert. You're like, God, you guys need to stop.
Billy, you hung out on that planet for fucking 15 years, dude.
No,
I mean,
come
really?
on, man.
What planet was he on?
Who knows?
But,
Okay.
like,
another desert planet that I don't care about.
One that looks, let me guess, one that looks like Tatooine, but
like
isn't
that.
like Tatooine.
There was some parts that were like very played on your sentimental heartstrings, and like the closing scene with Rey on Tatooine. I was like,
Did you see the Mandalorian?
Cool.
Did you see Mando?
No Mando.
No Mandalorians.
So it's I'm curious to see what you think about the whole thing.
All right.
Again, I'm going hard on it because it's one of these things where you really love the property and you really want it to be. You want to have that feeling that we had at the end of Endgame.
I'm sorry. When it's like I'll equate it to something. You go buy a Ferrari. You want it to be a Ferrari. You don't buy it to be a Volvo.
Yeah.
No,
Volvo.
a
Volvo. Kit car.
You know what I mean? You don't get in it and be like, oh man, this fucking sucks.
Yeah,
That's what I mean. Like
exactly.
Like,
it's like, come on.
it sounds like very like fanboyish, but it's just like, dude, it's like if you fuck up, I feel as if you should just make it right.
Own it.
It's good movie
I think
making.
you should. I think you should just be like, listen, man. I don't think there's a crime. Like everybody thinks it's like some sort of fucking crime.
Well,
To be
Disney-
like, hey, man. The Last Jedi fucking sucked, and we're going to make it better. I don't see the crime in that. That'd be the first time in history, and I bet you a lot of people would be like, you know what, dude?
I would love that.
I would have loved that too, but they had so much money banking on
Who
that.
cares?
Because Disney had the Galaxy's
fine.
Edge and
But
all
to
that.
your point,
They
though,
want-
Nick,
they
you were
already
like,
had a lot of money.
Yeah, they made $1 billion off of, or $1.3 billion. It's like, yeah, but John, we're in the $2 billion game.
Here we are. And it had Luke Skywalker. That was going to get $1 billion. So actually, you only made $300 million off that fucking movie.
Yeah,
Because Luke got you that $1 billion.
But what I'm saying, though, is they could easily... They weren't going to go broke if they made it right, is my point.
No.
There was a petition. 200 and some thousand people signed the fucking petition. Did we sign it?
We should have. Dude, I signed it mentally.
There was a petition. I think they got over 200 people,
I wish my name was
200,000
in there.
people to sign it. You have to fact check me on that, but I know there was a petition to redo the movie.
But I don't see the fucking crime in that. There is not a crime in that.
Well,
and it would have been the first time in history.
Dude, going back, Ghostbusters 3.
Yeah.
Not the female cast of Ghostbusters, but the one that's coming out that
the trailer.
Ivan Reitman's kid's doing.
Yes.
Right?
See how he did that, though?
But they disavowed it. They disqualified the one that was a shit movie.
Exactly.
And they were just moving on.
There was a Terminator.
Third one? Yeah, right. Well, this is going to be the third one.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
right, yeah.
You're exactly right.
It should actually be the second one.
But rightfully, dude, second one's not good. Rightfully so. But you know what I like?
Did you catch on that? What did you think of that trailer? First of all,
the trailer was fucking awesome. I love how they totally uprooted the whole scenario. Because think about it, you can't go back to New York.
Yeah.
It's not going to work out. Mm-hmm. It's not
for a third time.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. It's just not going to work out. But if you make it some myth thing that happened in the 80s
that nobody knows about.
Well, they do. The kids don't know about it.
Paul Rudd does. Yeah,
Paul Rudd does because he lived through it. Mm-hmm. But the kids wouldn't know about it. Think about today. They don't know who fucking the one singer doesn't even know who Led Zeppelin is.
Yeah,
it's the same type of thing.
Yeah.
What's her name?
I know Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish doesn't know who Led Zeppelin is, and that's the same.
You think she was just fucking around?
No, she was dead serious. If you saw her face, but that's my point. Is that kid wouldn't have known that in the 80s, and then he figures that shit out. It makes
it's like trying to say to somebody, "Oh, do you remember Mount St. Helens?"
Exactly.
Mount St. Helens happened. It was a mountain that blew up.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Yeah,
and
it was one,
but nobody knows.
But it fucked some shit up. So, but if you were to tell somebody that's even in their 20s right now, they'd be like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah,
they probably didn't even know where Mount St. Helens is.
It's plausible. One, two, I like how they give you little shit, and you're just who is this? Is this Spangler? And then when you see his
jumpsuit,
you see his jumpsuit, and he's obviously a Spangler disciple, or
descendant.
Did you hear the? I can't remember.
The voiceover.
The voiceover of
Venkman.
Oh, it's a Venkman. Yeah,
Venkman when he was talking at the beginning of the first one. I love it.
Yeah, which is great.
I got the chills. John didn't pick up on that at first. I'm like, you didn't hear that?
It was great.
Yeah, that was great. And then the third thing that fucking really got me is stuff you already knew about Ecto-1 that they never showed in the movies.
The side to action.
But they fucking break it out, and it's dude, how much better
it's awesome
design can you come up with in that?
The fact that so there's a thing on Netflix. You guys should check it out. They do one on Ghostbusters, which is the movies that formed us, or the movies we loved, or something like that. And they showcase Ghostbusters.
It was my favorite movie growing up,
dude. And what happened was I didn't know the history behind how it got made. But Dan Aykroyd made that movie.
He wrote
that movie
in New York.
Yes, and then it went to Harold Ramis, and it went to Ivan Reitman,
yep.
and then they were they threw away a lot of the stuff because Dan Aykroyd's his whole family is way into the occult and way into I shouldn't say occult, paranormal activities and
Venkman's part was written for Belushi.
Written for Belushi, exactly.
Oh yeah, I knew that. Then Belushi died, so they got
totally. And Ernie Hudson,
and that's why they threw out a lot of it too, was because of that. Because it was designed for Belushi.
And Bill Murray was the same as he is now, which is very kind of aloof. And you're like, is Bill going to even do this movie?
Yeah, is he going to show up to set?
Well, you're talking about that one then.
Even back then, it was because he did the same thing to Sofia Coppola when he did Lost in Translation, which was he said he was going to sign on, but I don't know. And then he shows up the day of shooting.
Doesn't he he doesn't even own his cell phone?
Yeah, he doesn't
has to call. Yeah. You have to call a call center or something like that.
No, he has a handler kind of that he gets in contact with Bill. He's the only person.
It's persistent, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so this movie that when we see the trailer, and this what I want to hear more about what you have to say about this, because Nick and I talked about this. It does capture some essence, man.
Yeah, so you look at it, gives you little tastes, and it he's going through his grandfather's shit, finds certain things, and you're looking at certain items, and
It's
he
a
has
great
them
replica.
Yeah, and
With
great,
the ghost trap?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
awesome.
love that, dude.
Yeah, and it's like it's got the little comedy tidbits because that's what it was. It's pretty much a comedy. I mean, it's
Yeah.
But
great.
it's a comedy, but it doesn't like. It's not like ha ha ha.
Yeah, it's
ha.
not in your
It's
face.
And that's how the first one was.
Yes.
It's a comedy.
But shit can
man,
happen.
Shit can happen in a
Yeah.
comedy. It's just not like all jokey joke.
Yeah,
Yes.
shit went
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, I'm stoked about
What
it. for
about
sure.
the new Maverick trailer?
Yeah, they did release a new Maverick.
I didn't see that, though. I
And a
did-
featurette, too.
Did
Yeah,
they really?
they did. It was
Yeah.
during like a game or something.
Yeah, because they're doing so much. They want to be so authentic to the flights, to the dog fighting and all the perspective of the actual airplanes.
I think
and
my
everything.
man was in it this time. I think he,
Dude.
he's like fucked up.
Well, the funniest thing is that when in the featurette, they're showing these actors, and the
Is
actors.
Goose a Force ghost?
That'd be
asking.
awesome.
All right, that's making it to the intro. But in the
Just asking for a friend.
but they show these guys going through like 5Gs, 6Gs, and stuff, and their
that's cool.
face is like stuck to the bottom of their chin and everything like that.
Tom Cruise still looks like he's 20.
He still looks fantastic.
Yeah, it's Tom Cruise.
I'm surprised he's not actually flying the plane.
Him and Paul Rudd are like best buddies.
Oh, and let's go back a quick beat. And you pointed this out, Nick, which was how awesome is it that they have Paul Rudd as one of the leads in Ghostbusters?
Oh yeah, it makes sense.
You said you were like, "Oh my god, he's fantastic!"
Oh,
in
yeah,
it.
that's why I'm saying
Yeah.
he makes it makes sense.
he fits into
Yeah,
that type of
makes sense.
comedy. He fits into like that type of like
Yeah, exactly.
comedy.
Why do like these executives got to outthink themselves and try?
Yeah.
Well, we can't do what makes sense. We got to like grab the fucking other guy and get the guy that makes sense.
Yeah.
And because that right,
Like it's a Superman, Lex Luthor. They fucking
Had
totally
Bryan
should-
Cranston.
Ryan Cranston would have been
Awesome.
and
a fucking
Perfect.
grand slam.
Yep.
But you had to go with a dorky little fucking shit.
Yeah.
but the Reitman boy does like
You go with
he
Zombieland.
does it right. He takes it.
Yeah. He was on set when that shit was going down.
and he took it seriously.
Jason Reitman, who's the writer director of
and
this new one.
he took it seriously, and he took it outside of the box. He's like, dude, we can't do a third in New York where it's not gonna look right. It's not gonna,
Yeah.
and we gotta take it somewhere else and that is like thinking way outside the box.
I thought it was just great how they made it like a nostalgic thing.
Oh,
like
yeah.
30 years ago, like everybody's like you said earlier, like people forgot about this, and I liked the kid they got because I really thought the kid from Stranger Things would never get another acting role
Yeah.
again. But
Finn Wolfhard.
but
What
he
a
makes,
great name.
He makes perfect sense.
An
Like,
80s kid remaking an 80s movie, like it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
From an
the
Asian.
Wonder Woman trailer. I
wait,
gotta go
real
there.
quick.
'Cause I did the whole soundtrack. Just scream Jamie. I
yeah.
was like,
Hey.
oh my god.
I saw pictures of it. I did not watch the trailer.
Ooh.
One thing one last thing on the Ghostbusters thing is that it has a Goonies feel.
It does, and I like
Yeah,
that.
Me too.
Which that's another thing too. That's the other part that I really liked about it. They didn't drum up some like other cast to be Ghostbusters. They have like these kids just
Yeah.
like trying to help out.
Yep.
Which how else would it make sense if you drummed up another cast to just be fucking dumb as we've seen?
Yeah.
Now here's the question: are we going to see?
Right?
We're going to
Yes.
see the original cast. I thought they were supposed to be in it, but
They're
when
all-
you see the names, they don't show up.
Yeah.
But Ramus is dead,
Ramus is dead, but Bill Murray was supposed to be in this. What I
So
thought.
which
look
he could be.
you look
still.
at IMDb, and in IMDb, and I've heard interviews with Jason Reitman, is that Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson, and Sigourney.
I love it, Ernie, dude. That
Yeah,
dude's fucking awesome.
Awesome. And Sigourney Weaver, they all have parts. They're all going to be in the movie.
Okay.
Yeah. But it was weird that they didn't credit anybody in the trailer. Because that sells the movie, man.
Real quick, I don't want to. I know we're strapped on time, but I do
Yeah.
want to get to the end of Watchmen
Yes.
because it ended. I mean, I don't want to sit there and glaze over this.
I heard good things about that.
Oh, it took a while to get
ended
there.
strong.
It took a while to get there, but my God, it finished well.
Yes.
I had a cigarette. I had a cigarette after that one. I felt like I had sex, dude. It was nice.
Did you have your big blue dildo with
Oh
balls?
yeah, right. That was awesome. When she opened up that case, and I was like, "Oh, that's what's in there." Fuck, it makes so much sense.
Top secret plutonium or anything. It's a big blue dildo.
You got to
with
catch
balls.
it, dude.
Have you been watching?
No, I haven't been watching that.
It's gonna take you about 5 episodes?
6.
I got
7 total.
I got
It's about
time
5
now because
you really get going.
I got
Well, 5 day hint on Dr. Manhattan.
I got a little bit of time now
Yeah.
because I got
you got a lot of catching up to do, man.
It's a lot of foreplay, but
no, but I got over my hump, so I'm good. For
Yeah, you're right. You did have a big.
like I said, there's a
hill
lot
to
of
climb.
foreplay, but the finish was nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I got over one of my humps, so I can actually start
Can I
watching.
have a marble light, please?
And then Dark Materials, his Dark Materials.
Yeah, I want to watch that too.
I still recommend. And there's like the good thing about what HBO is doing with these new series. They're kind of like going off of what the streaming services, at least Amazon,
Yeah.
making it 8 episodes. They're not jamming you with
8 episodes, I think, is a great recipe.
8 to 10.
I think
Yeah, 8 to 10.
I think Netflix needs to like start embarking.
I think
on
they
that
are
journey.
though. I don't know how much The Witcher is. The Witcher
Yeah, I just caught an episode of that tonight.
was it any good?
It was good. It was really
It's
good.
on Netflix.
Came
It's on
out today.
Netflix, yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
How many? 8.
I didn't see the whole list. I was just trying to squeeze
And then
an episode. in.
The Expanse came out.
I thought didn't Lost in
good.
Space isn't that coming out?
Shit.
That is out.
Is it out or did
Is
it
it
come
out already? I thought it was coming out this month.
Well, keep talking. I'll do the googly moogly.
I have to pee, so let's googly moogly this shit.
Yeah, I do. I have to piss really bad. I drank a cup of coffee and a cup of water.
All right. Well, there's a lot to catch up on. We're on episode 98. We're going to go to hopefully close out the new year with 99, and then start maybe with 200. Maybe taking a week
Well,
off.
100.
I'm sorry, 100. Excuse me.
No. We'll just do it next Friday. We'll finish out the Mandalorian because that's the end.
Mandalorian. Oh.
If you can do next Friday, that would be great.
Yeah,
We'll
Mandalorian.
do next Friday, and we'll try to catch the last episode together. Hopefully, if it's okay with you guys, I'll have my stepson on because I know he's
hell yeah,
he's
man.
big into it. We'll have him on for 15 minutes to give him his viewpoint from a
Mandalorian.
kid's
Perfect.
viewpoint. And we'll fucking pod.
Yeah.
And then, then we'll start the new year with a 100 episode, and we'll try to do something fucking cool.
Yes.
Maybe we'll have
definitely.
Jerry. Maybe we'll have Jerry on for the 100th time.
Jerry delivers.
He does, man.
For sure.
Goddamn Jerry, 3 Spocks, and what was he bitching
3
about?
Spocks and 2 Yodas.
2 years. Yeah. He went off on the
And
2
now
years.
there's fucking 2 Yodas.
I like this baby Yoda.
I like it
Or
too.
whoever the fuck he is.
Watch the latest episode. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for this week's episode of Nick, John, and Jamie Show. We're on all the popular podcasting venues, and we're on all the popular social medias. So just check us out. We're at NJJ Show, and have a marvelous week.